What's up, guys? Welcome to the Momentum Trading Lab. I'm your host, Renier. Please remember to hit that like and subscribe, and let's get into it. All right, guys. Seeing that I still have this on my chart, there's a quick little trade review that I want to do regarding the Silver Bullet New York morning session. So I actually traded a bit of basically this entire move to the upside from around here. And I actually did record my actual executions on NinjaTrader. So I'm gonna play that on 2x the speed and just provide my commentary on exactly what I saw. And then you can see my live executions. So the Silver Bullet, if you don't know what that is, the Silver Bullet is a certain window where you look for a certain opportunity in the market. So the New York AM Silver Bullet is between 10 and 11 a.m. New York time or Eastern Standard Time. And then there's also the afternoon Silver Bullet, which is from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. And then we also have a London Silver Bullet, which is from 3 to 4 a.m. So I actually hit the London one as well this morning. Let me quickly grab the Discord. So basically from yesterday, I'm going to be journaling all of my trades in here. So I started from yesterday, and yesterday I didn't trade. My order didn't fall. Well, what actually happened was I was targeting this fair value gap. So this was more or less the ICT 2022 model. You had the high. The high was violated. We also had buy side liquidity above this high, and then we got the market structure shift. So we broke that low. So we flipped to bearish market structure, and I actually wanted to get in on this fair value gap because this one was in a premium. But as you can see, it only came to this one and then started to dump. So we also didn't have the afternoon session yesterday. So I didn't get any trades yesterday. But then this morning, the London Silver Bullet. So from 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. So we got this nice move to the downside. And then on the 2-minute chart, we had this fair value gap right. This was basically right at the equilibrium. If you pull your fib from that high to the low, this almost touched that equilibrium almost exactly. And then we got this nice dump to the downside, basically one standard deviation, and I scaled out all of my contracts, and I think I made about $1,000 on that trade. This was the actual executions, the screenshot that I took from NinjaTrader. As you can see, I opened my trade right there, and then I pitched out one contract right there, sold one there and one there. And then okay, and then let's go to the one from this morning. So let me quickly tell you guys exactly what I saw. So the open was right here. So I just watched the open. It was very choppy. So I waited until the Silver Bullet, but you still have to follow the rules, right? So what is the rules? We wait for a liquidity sweep. So below old lows or relative equal lows is where you find sell side liquidity. And as you can see, we just kind of tapped into it. There was no displacement below these lows. So we tapped into it and then started to move away. And then if you have a closer look, we had a high right here. So as soon as we broke above this with displacement, that is a bullish market structure shift. So admittedly, I could have gotten in here, but I missed this one. As you'll see now in the recording of the executions, I got in at about here. Then I sold one mini right there, another one there, and I think the last one I sold right there. But let's quickly have a look. We're gonna watch it on 2 times the speed. It's gonna be, I think, less than 5 minutes, but you'll get a pretty good idea of what my thinking was. All right, so as I said, the executions I did on NinjaTrader, that's how I access my funded accounts at Bulenox. So let's hit play on this. So this was on the 1-minute chart. So I'm just gonna quickly pause. So here is that fair value gap that we saw on TradingView. So I do all of my charting on TradingView because we have the indicators. I use the Momentum Master B in confluence with what I see on the price action. And then something that I've recently started using, it's something new, is the Optima. And this provides pretty good divergences and stuff. So this has got a lot more functionality than what you see here, but I just for now I kind of disabled most of it and just enabled the divergences, and I'm gonna add more as I learn this new tool. All right, so and then like I said, executions is done on NinjaTrader. Okay, so right here I didn't enter yet. I wanted to see how price action is going to react once we get into this imbalance. And then as soon as I saw that tap at the bottom of the fair value gap and then started to move away, that's when I started to get myself ready to enter this trade. So that green candle, this is you can't unfortunately see it right here, but that is when I started to move my mouse towards the market buy. Boom, I'm in. Stop at the low. First contract, want to sell right there. Next one, let's quickly go back. So the second TP, I was targeting these relative equal highs, so I wanted to match up my long position with the buy stops above these highs. Okay, so over here I just went to the 15-minute chart because I just wanted to see if my TPs is actually aligned with the liquidity pools. My runner, I tried to match up with these equal highs, but you'll see later in the video I exited a little bit early on this trade, but that's fine. I banked pretty decent profits on this one. Well, especially for the amount of time that I was in the trade, it was pretty good. Okay, so over here I got a little bit worried. You'll see, just gonna pause it. So right here we have a bearish fair value gap. So over here I got a little bit worried, but I didn't really, just kept calm. Pulled a coping Fibonacci right there. Took a little bit of heat right there, down 5 points. Now it's starting to move away. Now it started to move. Right there, I wanted to take one off because 18 points on minis is pretty decent profit. Didn't want to sell right there. I wanted it to come back to give me my 18 points more or less. Got it right there. Because the thinking behind that was, I'm going to take one contract off for 18 points. And then if price comes back to my entry, then I'm just going to flatten everything. And then I made 18 points on one contract, which is better than a loss. But I should actually be more disciplined and just let it play out or hit my stop loss. But admittedly, I'm still kind of working on those things. Okay, so now we're just waiting. Right after this, it's going to displace above this high. There it's starting to go. Made another little fair value gap. So at that point I was thinking, if price action does not hold the midpoint of this fair value gap, then I'm just gonna dip. But it didn't even come back, it just displaced above this high. Gonna forward a little bit, and there it started to go. And as soon as I saw I was up 50 points, and I also glanced at my control panel, and that was about 2k in profit, so I just pulled that last contract as soon as I saw it hit 50. I don't think that's a part of this recording. Oh, there I go. Boom, out. All right. So that was my 2 trades for the day, and I'm definitely going to be targeting the afternoon session as well. So let's just quickly recap the rules for the silver bullet. So it's very easy. It's basically the first fair value gap that you see you can enter on, provided it touched into liquidity and displaced above an old high. Then you can enter in that, and then you ride it to the first opposing liquidity pool. So where's the first opposing liquidity pool? It's going to be right there, and then we had these relative equal highs right there. So that's why as soon as we pumped to the upside and we got here, that's why I wanted to also just pull that one off, because it was kind of in my liquidity pool target area. All right, so let's do today's analysis. Just gonna clean delete all of these things on the lower term time frame. Okay, quickly clean this up a little bit. Okay, so if you watched the stream yesterday, I also posted it in the Discord. Let me quickly go there. Okay, so this is basically the idea that we've been looking at. The Nasdaq broke above this high and then left this fair value gap with a bullish order block right there. The idea was that it was probably likely that we retrace back into discount before moving back up to take out the buy side liquidity and fill this volume imbalance. So then yesterday we got a nice move down. We got basically this move that I didn't get my entry in. Nice little move to the downside. And then this morning in the Discord, right here. Okay, so yeah, we started to move towards that imbalance. And then this morning I said, although the daily is showing bear signs, the 4-hour went into this local sell side liquidity and did not displace below it. So you can see on this 4-hour, it tapped into it and then moved back to the upside. So that told me that larger players bought up these stops, and it's likely that we would move towards this imbalance. So we, at the end of the day, we just moved above this, but this was a pretty good draw on liquidity for the day. And then obviously you can see what happened during the day. We came, we didn't actually break above the high, we came right towards it. So that is why I was looking at the short for yesterday, because I thought that price needed to go back towards that imbalance on the daily. I still think it needs to do it. It just needed to come back and rebalance this imbalance before we continue our way on the downside. All right, so let's have a look at the daily. Okay, I'm just gonna hide the midnight opening price. So I'm not sure if you guys use this, but this is a pretty nice level to have on your chart, especially if you have your bias correct like we had this morning. So basically what you do is, let me go back to the 2-minute. So to me, this was a this trade that we just discussed. This one from here, for me this was a high probability trade for multiple reasons, because first of all, like I said, we tapped into that liquidity, moved away, and I was bullish for the day, and price was below the midnight opening price. So this is why I knew this was a very good setup to go in on. Alrighty, let's go back to the daily. And then I'm just gonna hide the midnight opening price. This one, it's that one. Okay, so let's have a look at what we see. New day, clean chart. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I just want to pull a fib on this and see where we are in relation with these fib levels. So you can see not closing above the Fibonacci 786. So I still believe that we will have to come back towards this area. Sorry about that. Okay, so we have this imbalance on the daily. And then one level that I will also watch out for is this level right here. This is at 15,333. So this is going to be the top of our order block candle on the daily. Shift that to the right, make that white. Okay, so right now this is if we get there, we'll see, do we get displacement of this level or not? If not, then we could see well, then it's likely we see a move back into discount. We have the Fibonacci 618 more or less at the bottom of this fair value gap. And then I just want to see the midpoint of this order block candle. Just want to quickly get the right tool for that. Alright, so the midpoint, the mean threshold of this order block candle is right there, and it's slap bang on the Fibonacci 618. So if we retrace to this level, we could see a strong reaction of this level and then move towards the buy side liquidity right here, and that volume imbalance that we also discussed yesterday. That one right there, which starts at more or less 15,760. And then obviously we have buy side liquidity right at that high, and then our first extension level also aligns with that high right there. So to me still seems likely that in the coming days, week or two, we retrace into this area, and we know this is going to be a strong level right here, the mean threshold of the daily bullish order block candle, and the Fibonacci 618 for this impulse to the upside. So maybe something like this, get a nice bounce, and then move towards the volume imbalance and the buy side liquidity above these highs. Okay, so let's have a look at the 4-hour chart. Okay, so then as I said earlier in the stream, we had these relative equal lows, tapped into it, did not displace below it. So that tells us that there was a larger player that bought up all of these stops. And we had the volume, not the volume imbalance, the fair value gap right there. And then I think it's so likely that we'll push above this high to take out the liquidity. And why do I think that? So if a larger player bought up these sell stops, so a larger player went long, so that larger player will try and match up his take profit with the stop losses above these highs. So we are going to be watching out for this high for as our buy side liquidity. And right there. So what I think could happen is my path tool will either move into this liquidity and then displace to the downside, and then see something similar like this, where we then see a fair value gap on the 4-hour chart, which will then be our point of interest on the higher term time frames. And then retrace and then move towards that fair value gap and the bullish order block that we discussed on the daily. So the key thing is to wait for the displacement. So we are basically waiting for the larger players to show us their hand, and we see that by the displacement in the chart. So this displacement will likely happen after we take out this high. So just pierce into it, knock out the short stops either here or there, and then start to displace to the downside. That's what I think is likely going to happen. All right, so I'm just going to remove that. We've already discussed that imbalance. Okay, let's mark off this low. Okay, and then we have another low right here. And this one aligns exactly with the daily fair value gap. Let's have a look at the 1 hour. Pretty messy on the 1 hour. But here you can see the liquidity that I tapped into as well. Relative equal lows. So retail traders will see this as strong support. And then your strong support gets broken. You get knocked out of your trade. And price starts to move to the upside. Okay, so the 1 hour price action pretty messy right there. Just gonna get a fib on this. I'm gonna go to the 15. The 1 hour is pretty messy. Let's have a look. So there's an imbalance right there that I want to mark off. See how accurate this is. The candles never closed above this line. I have to say that this just kind of gives me a bearish feeling. Almost right there at the OTE. Let's have a look at the 5 minute. Okay, so here we had is that a technical low? Not really. This will have to be the low for the market structure shift. Another one right there. Want to see the fib again. So just not closing above the 786. Actually a low right there that you can use for a market structure shift. So it's already kind of giving me some bear vibes because of this imbalance right here on the 15 minute. This one, and it's not been touched until these candles. Then another one right there. And then we have a low right here. So this could be a shift in market structure if we displace below this low. So displacement, take out this low, then you want to see a nice fair value gap in this area. And then you can enter on the retrace, and then I would just target the low hanging fruit. So let's say you enter right here and you take one off right there at that low. That's 40 points. That's awesome. And then if you can get more, I mean, there's relative equal lows right there. So I will definitely, if I enter with 3 contracts again, take one right there, take one right there, and maybe try and take one right there, and that's going to be 100 points. So we are still okay. So the New York lunchtime just finished, and the New York afternoon kill zone starts in about 30 minutes. But ideally your execution of the trade is going to be during the afternoon silver bullet. Right, so it is 1 o'clock right now, the afternoon session starts. So this is maybe a potential trade idea for a short. We'll have to see how this plays out. Alrighty, if you have any questions, please drop it in the chat. I'm more than willing to answer any questions that you have. And then also check out our Discord. You not only get an awesome little trading community, we also have Danny. He's also got a channel, Illuminated Nothing, but I'm assuming most of you already follow him. But if you don't, definitely check him out. He's busy doing some awesome stuff. Always great to check out his stuff. I've been a little absent from the Discord for a little while. I had some things going on, but I'm back in full force now, and I'm trying to do as much updates as possible. We made some changes. We moved from crypto to index futures. I'm going to be journaling all my stuff. I'm going to be doing this a lot more extensive. So I'll be doing screenshots from my Ninja Trader, similar to what Danny is doing in the Momentum Master Discord. If you want to get the Momentum Master Discord, link is in the description for a 20% discount. And then the community can post their charts and stuff in here. I also changed the TA area. So this was the old library which you don't have access to anymore, because I'm going to be updating it and making it a lot better. But so in the past we had where you can just kind of ask questions in the TA questions area. So it was kind of messy. So I deleted that, and now it's going to be the post. So everything, the idea is that everything is going to be a lot more organized in here, if you will. Alright, so that's the Discord. Definitely check it out. Alright, so getting a little bit of a move down. So I'm just going to personally just put an alert on this for myself. So once we break below this, I want to see if that fair value gap is right there, and if we get the retrace, then I will enter, because like I said, there is a potential for to make 100 points. If I can make 100 points today in the afternoon session, that will be incredible. I've made about 90 points in total today with the London and the New York morning session. So that'll be pretty cool if I can get that entry and ride it to these lows. Alright, let's have a quick look at the dollar index. I gave this update in the Discord as well. To me, it seemed likely that this high is going to be the draw on liquidity. Why did I think that? Let me quickly show you. So first of all, bullish market structure on the daily chart. Higher highs, higher lows. And then with this leg down, we took out this low. Did not displace below it, but rather we started to move to the upside. So again, larger players bought up the stop losses for the traders that were still long and had their stops below this low. And then obviously the next draw on liquidity is going to be the buy side. So we had these relative equal highs right there. Relative equal highs is seen by retail traders as support. They will have their stop losses right there. So whoever went long of these stop losses is going to want to see price gravitate towards this area so they can take profit. So, and then I gave the update in the Discord. I said this little line is going to be the draw on liquidity, and then we came straight to it. Starting to get it rejected there. So let's quickly see more what's going on with the dollar. Clean some stuff up. Okay, so we took out the buy side liquidity. So to me, that's the level to watch out for. See what else we see. So if the dollar starts to move down and we move past this fair value gap and we take out this low with displacement, then for sure I think we are coming towards this level, because we have these two lows right there. So that's going to be sell side liquidity, and then we also have it right there. So this is going to be all of the internal sell side liquidity, and then we might also tap in right there, which will obviously be great for the risk on assets such as Bitcoin and the altcoin market and all that stuff. Let's get a Fibonacci on here. Yeah, so this fair value gap is right there at the equilibrium. Let's have a look at the 4 hour. Okay, on the momentum master, looks like there's a little, maybe a little bit of juice left, but the Williams is starting to get extended. Also looks like MACD might be losing a little bit of momentum. I think we'll have to go to the 4 hour just to see what's going on. Okay, so the 4 hour looks pretty bearish on the Dixie. Everything is either red or pointing down. But the market structure is still kind of bullish. And then we have this right here. So retail support is going to have sell stops right there, and seeing that we have the imbalance on the daily, seems likely that maybe somewhere today or maybe tomorrow the dollar starts to move towards this area. So I have some gaps right here, but I start seeing that we also have a gap right here, and the liquidity right here, and this fair value gap, and then the oscillators is also overbought. Seems likely the dollar needs to retrace a little bit. Yeah, and this could also, let's see what's going on the 15 minute. Just trying to hold this gap right here. Okay, so looks like accumulation in this fair value gap. Then we have another one right here. So to me it seems we also have these lows right here. It seems it's possible the price goes in there, moves towards this liquidity, and then we could start to see the domino effect of price action starting to move down towards the liquidity right here and this imbalance. Right, I think that is enough for the dollar index. Okay, so seeing that we did some higher time frame analysis on the dollar, let's have a look at, gonna use this chart. Let's just look at the Nasdaq again, now that we have the perspective from the dollar as well. Yeah, so like I said in the stream, I think from yesterday, we had the low, tapped into the liquidity, started to move away, broke into bullish market structure. Okay, let's see what's going on. Okay, not displacing yet. Okay, there we're starting to go. Let's just quickly watch this for a moment. Nothing. I normally want to see a fair value gap on the 2 minute. I have it there on the 5, but I would really like to see it, would have seen it on the 2 minute. Danny says, how do you do posts in Discord? When you create channel, then just use forum, create a space for organized discussions. But I'll send you this in the I'll send you a DM as well if you're not in the stream anymore. Okay, so there is a potential of a market structure shift right here. Okay, let's see what happens if we can get a retrace back into that area. And if we confirm a high on the 2 minute or the 1 minute in that area, then I'm going in. So let's just give this a moment to play out. See, it's just kind of hovering around. I think I am probably going to end up just waiting for the afternoon kill zone to start, which is in 19 minutes. Yeah, because for me it's about the time is just as important as price or anything else. And from my experience trading this way and extensive backtesting, the setup that I'm looking for in the afternoon forms between 1:30 and 3 p.m. or whatever, and then I want to be out by 4 p.m. Okay, so what I am going to do is I'm just going to add another alert. Just going to move this line right here, and then if price action comes back into that area, then we'll know about it. Fair value gap low. Want to make this look nice. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. And just check if we still have our alert on. So if you're working full time and you're trading in between tasks, then definitely learn alerts. That is basically where I learned to use alerts extensively. Let's see, we're getting back into that area right now. I don't even have my NinjaTrader open, damn. Let me just quickly get my NinjaTrader open. I rebooted my computer before the stream. Stop loss will have to be right there. So we're coming off this bearish fair value gap right here. Move down below this low. Not the strongest displacement, but there is a fair value gap. But I'm not gonna blindly enter once we get into this fair value gap. So in the past I would have had my limit orders stacked in this block with my stop right there, but it's not how I do it anymore. I wait for price action to come into my zone, and then I wait to see how it reacts, and then I want to kind of see a high confirm, almost like this. So if we get a high and then another candle that makes a higher high, and then if the next candle makes a lower high, so lower than that high, then I mark it in. So then it's kind of a confirmed high in my zone. So kind of like what we are doing right now, but it's not in my zone. So connect to Bulenox on my Ninja. You might hear a funny sound once it connects. See what ES is doing. I just want to have a quick look at Bitcoin. So I gave this is why I stopped trading crypto, because it just doesn't move as much as the futures market. So I gave out this update on Bitcoin, I think early yesterday, and the chart still looks exactly the same. But what my thinking is, is that we have this built up liquidity right here, but we have these imbalances and we have relative equal highs, and after this leg price is not going back into a premium. So my idea is that we move to the upside, knock out this liquidity, reprice this imbalance, move into a premium, and then take out the sell side liquidity. So that's my thinking for now. But that will probably just move sideways, and then eventually do something. Have a quick look at the Nasdaq again. Looks like it's filling in this little imbalance before potentially moving to my zone. Relative equal lows, moved into it. You might see a little move to the upside. Moving down, but it's still holding. We'll have to see how this candle closes. I'm obviously not going to be trading this to the upside. I believe the short could give me more points, because obviously this is what I'm looking for at the end of the day, is potentially entering in there, and then my last contract I'm going to be taking off right there, and that will be about 100 points more or less. So that is what I'm aiming for. I don't ever really try and just get 5 or 10 points. It needs to be 40 points plus to pique my interest. Okay, it's moving kind of slow. Right, I think if there's no questions in the chat. Okay, does time become price? Love these setups, need price deliveries with ease. Bro, you have gone Super Saiyan, you leveled up. Thank you, man, that means a lot. These funded challenges will do that to you. It will make you level up. That's definitely, once I started doing these challenges, it's been, I don't know, I think 3, 4, 5 months ago, I'm not quite sure. My skills has improved drastically. The funded challenges definitely exposed a lot of things that I had lacking in my game, and definitely I'm moving towards fixing all of those problems and getting better every day. Okay, so Illuminated says time does become price because they can use time to compare the orders to new orders, which they let them determine which positions are holding what. Yeah, time and price, super important. Alrighty guys, I think I'm gonna keep an eye on price action. I'm gonna end the stream soon, get a coffee, and then I'm gonna be watching out for the silver bullet setup, and I'll post it in the Discord as soon as it checks most of the boxes, with the last box just being the entry. Then I will post that setup in the Discord. So thank you guys very much for tuning in today. I'll be back tomorrow at around the same time. I also want to do a stream right before the London Open. It is a bit for me, that's kind of early in the morning, but I'm gonna try and do my best for everybody that trades in that time zone. With that being said, I hope everyone has a great